Dozens of Israeli passport holders were detained for questioning and forced to undergo humiliating strip searches at Istanbul's Ataturk airport on Monday morning. The Israelis had their passports confiscated after landing on a Turkish Airlines flight from Tel Aviv and others who arrived from Bangkok en route to Israel. They were questioned for more than an hour and subsequently released. While they were detained, they were asked to remove clothing in dark rooms and were forbidden to go to the bathroom. Turkish officials said Monday's incident was in response to the humiliating treatment a group of 40 Turkish nationals received at Ben Gurion Airport on Sunday. However, Israeli officials said the Turks were detained for 20 minutes and subjected to questioning after they told security personnel the purpose of their trip to Israel was to visit the Al-Aqsa Mosque. An Israeli Foreign Ministry spokesman said the incident was under investigation and officials had already been in contact with Turkey to find out if the incident was the result of a new directive or if it was a local initiative by airport authorities. Israel's Security Cabinet is deliberating the funding of a missile defense system to protect the country's commercial airlines. While no details of the cabinet meeting on Sunday were released to the media, an official said all Israeli planes will be equipped with a defense system in the near future. Cabinet members discussed the missile threat and a budget for the system, which will be integrated into the Defense Ministry's budget. Some El Al planes have already been equipped with such a system. Previous Israeli governments approved equipping planes with a missile defense system following a missile attack on Al Kia Israel Airlines plane in Mombasa, Kenya in 2002. At the time, the pilot spotted the missiles fired at the plane shortly after takeoff and succeeded in avoiding them and continued the flight to Israel. A wall has been constructed around Israel's embassy in Cairo after it became the site of violent demonstrations in recent weeks. Work on the wall began several days ago. Egyptian officials said the 2.5-meter high wall was erected to protect the residents of the high-rise embassy building, but not the Israel embassy. Officials said it was mainly to protect the lower floors of the building and prevent tensions between protesters and residents. A diplomatic row erupted between Jerusalem and Cairo last month after 5 Egyptian security personnel were shot dead on the border with Israel by Israeli soldiers pursuing the terrorists who killed 8 Israelis near Eilat. Egypt at the time threatened to withdraw its ambassador from Tel Aviv, and some called to end the 1979 peace treaty with Israel. Lebanon issued a complaint to the United Nations warning Israel the setting of a maritime border between the two countries by Jerusalem threatened peace and security in the region. Israel's cabinet on July 10th approved the demarcation of the northern maritime border with Lebanon in an effort to protect economic rights in offshore territories that Lebanon is claiming as its own. Israel submitted its map to the UN to counter a map that Lebanon submitted last year. The area of the Mediterranean Sea in question is close to an area where American and Israeli firms discovered 2 massive natural gas fields. On Monday, Lebanese Foreign Minister Adnan Mansour sent a letter to UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon rejecting geographic coordinates submitted by Israel. The letter accused Israel of infringing on Lebanon's exclusive economic zone, a sea zone that would give Beirut the right to search the area for natural resources. Mansour said Beirut urged Ban Ki-moon to take all necessary measures to avoid conflict. An Israeli official said borders cannot be demarked unilaterally, but rather must be agreed upon by both countries, or go to an arbitrator that both sides agree upon. Since Lebanon has refused to do either, the official said it just can't set the maritime border on its own. Once it did, Israel had no choice but to do the same in order to protect its interests. Egyptian demonstrators scuffled with police outside the court where the 3rd session of the trial of former President Hosni Mubarak resumed on Monday. Mubarak, in hospital since April with heart problems and other ailments, was wheeled on a gurney into a metal defendant's cage in the court at the Cairo Police Academy. He has been accused of ordering the killing of anti-government protesters when anti-regime demonstrations erupted in Cairo in February. Judge Ahmad Refat has banned live television coverage of the trial after the first two sessions. At Monday's hearing, senior policemen were due to deliver testimonies. Mubarak is the first Arab leader to stand trial in person since popular uprising swept the Middle East this year. 10 Kuwaiti lawyers said they were joining Mubarak's defense team, saying they were making a gesture of gratitude to Mubarak for his support for a US-led coalition that expelled Iraqi forces from Kuwait in 1991.